Hello, and welcome to Career Development's The Science of the Resume on-demand webinar. Before we talk about resumes, let's talk about some other resources career development offers. In addition to resumes, we can also help with cover letters, interviewing, job and internship searching, networking, and choosing a major or career path. Currently, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are only scheduling virtual appointments with students and alumni. To schedule a virtual appointment, please call or email us. Our office hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You may also visit the Career Development website for more job search and career development resources. In addition, you can visit our job site, New Hire, for currently available positions and other job search resources. What is the purpose of a resume? There are several. The first is to provide a summary of your skills, abilities, accomplishments, and experiences. Also, to advertise who you are to someone who doesn't know you. It can be used to land an interview, and it can also be used for self-exploration and to help you understand yourself better. It's important to remember that a resume is not an autobiography, but a snapshot of you. This means that you don't need to, and you shouldn't include all of your past experiences. Instead, include only what is relevant for the job that you're applying for. There is no correct way to structure a resume, and there are many sections that you could use to highlight your expertise. Some basic headings that will be included in most resumes are header, summary or objective, education, experience, and skills. When writing your resume, it's important to keep in mind the job description, requirements, and duties. The first section of a resume is the header. This includes your name, location, phone number, and a professional email address. For your location, we recommend only including your city and state, or your city, state, and zip code, and not your full address. It's important to include a professional email address to make a good first impression on employers. We recommend just your first name, last name at gmail.com or another common email service provider. You may choose to use your NEIU address. However, keep in mind that you will lose access to it 18 months after graduating. After your header, you may choose to include a summary or an objective. What's the difference? An objective is best for things like career fairs or uploading your resume to a job site like New Hire. It addresses what you want versus what you can offer an employer. Summaries are best when applying for specific positions, as employers already assume that what you want is what they're offering and you're applying for. A summary gives employers a quick insight into what you offer. It also gives you the opportunity to use keywords and buzzwords from the job description. You don't have to include a summary or an objective in your resume. This is an optional section. The next section that we will go over is the education section. In this section, you want to be sure that you're writing the correct name of your university and writing it out fully. We're not in Boston at Northeastern University, so be sure to write out Northeastern Illinois University. You can put NEIU in parentheses after Northeastern Illinois University, so you don't have to write it out in the rest of your resume if you work on campus or are involved in student organizations. Some things that you can include in this section, in addition to your degrees earned or in progress, are relevant coursework and a GPA if it's above a 3.0. Include any relevant post-secondary education. including if you went to a community or city college before NEIU, and include either graduation dates or dates attended for all listed schools. Should you include your high school? No. This is because you need a high school diploma or an equivalent to enroll in a college or university, so this space would be better used for more relevant information. Next, we will go over the experience sections. You're not limited to just one experience section, especially if you have a lot of different types of relevant experience. And it's important to remember that you don't have to only include paid experiences. Some examples of different experience sections you can include are employment history, work experience, internship experience, volunteer experience, community engagement, additional experience, and many more. You can also include a relevant experience section. This section would include any paid and unpaid experience related to the job you're applying for and your career. You can make this title relevant to your field. For example, marketing experience or editorial experience. After you include your education and experience, here are some other sections you may choose to include. The sections that you include will depend on your own experience and the job that you're applying for. You may include some sections on a resume for one job and not on a resume for another. Once you figure out which sections and which experiences you'll include, you'll need to write 3 to 5 bullet points for each experience, demonstrating the skills that you used and the achievements you made in that experience as they relate to the job you're applying for. Make sure to start each bullet point with a strong action verb. This action verb should describe what you accomplished and the skills that you used. Be sure to avoid any jargon that is not relevant to the job descriptions. This includes spelling out acronyms. You also want to quantify your impact if you can. Did costs decrease? Was time saved? Did you exceed your goals? When writing your bullet points, use the STAR method. This stands for situation, task, action, result. Some questions to help you think about what you did using the STAR method are: what did you do? How did you do it? And what was the impact of your actions? Using this method will help you create well-developed bullet points that will allow employers to see the value that you bring. Some final tips for writing your resume. While it may be tempting, don't use a generic resume template. As we discussed throughout this webinar, your resume should be tailored to the job you're applying for. If you use a template, you may not be able to make the formatting adjustments you need to include all of your relevant information. Proofread and make sure your formatting is consistent. Make sure that there are no spelling or grammar mistakes. Make sure that if you put periods at the end of your bullet points, there are periods at the end of all of your bullet points. Make sure your dates are written out the same throughout your resume. Make sure that any formatting that should match does. These may seem like small details, but they can tell an employer a lot about you. If you say that you're detail-oriented, but there are mistakes throughout your resume, employers won't believe that you are detail-oriented. Employers may also believe that you don't really care about the job because you didn't take the time to proofread your resume. Have someone else proofread your resume as well. They may catch some mistakes that you didn't. In addition, they may have some suggestions for experiences that you should add to make your resume stand out to employers. Constantly update your resume. You want to make sure that you're including your most relevant skills, achievements, and experiences in your resume. If you're only updating your resume when you're searching for a new job, you probably won't remember everything you did since your last job search, and you may be leaving out valuable information. As I mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, please call or email us if you would like to schedule a virtual appointment. We're here to help you, especially during these challenging times. And please be sure to check out our other job search and career development resources.